welcome back to the AH Rovenstalk YouTube channel, and welcome back to yet another Bristol City video. And it is time to review the transfer window for the summer. Another transfer window shuts, and another fairly positive one for City on the whole, I'd say. Um, Before I get into the grittiness of this Bristol City transfer window, hit the like on the video if you haven't already. Subscribe to the AH Rovenstalk YouTube channel for more Bristol City content. I usually do previews, reviews. Obviously, there's a one-off because it's the transfer window. And yeah, I'll just be talking about how Bristol City have strengthened and where they could have potentially done a bit more. But we'll talk about it right now. So yeah, City made 4 additions during the transfer window, notably picking out Luton's Player of the Year in Cal Naismith on a free transfer. We also signed Oxford's Mark Sykes on a free transfer. Kane Wilson, who was Forest Green's right wing back and the League Two Player of the Year, was also signed, competing a lot of interest from other clubs like Watford, who had Rob Edwards, the former Forest Green manager. So he beat a lot of interest for Kane Wilson, which shows a lot of ambition. And finally, a bit of a left field one in Stefan Bajic from FC Pau on a free transfer as well. But that took a bit of time to actually get it all sorted due to work permit and whatnot. City made 4 signings, had to get quite a lot out. One departure was confirmed on deadline day in the form of Riley Towler going out on loan to AFC Wimbledon. Toby Backinson left earlier in the window to join Sheffield Wednesday in a permanent transfer. Taylor Moore left on loan to League One Shrewsbury, and Steve Cottrell. Callum O'Dowda left, was released. He later on went to join Cardiff. Case Palmer left on a free transfer. He's not out of contract. He just left on a free transfer to join fellow Championship club Coventry. Robbie Cundy surprisingly left to join League One Barnsley, and unfortunately Nathan Baker had to retire due to medical reasons, which is a real travesty, really. So yeah, that was a bit of an odd situation, and just really disappointing everyone involved. So those were the incomings and the outgoings in the transfer window. Let's talk about what went right for City. Keeping hold of Antoine Semenyo, Alex Scott, Hannah Masengo, potentially Andy Vyman, is something I don't think many City fans expected to happen. But in fact, we kept all of them for the window. And that shows ambition, and that shows a clear plan. We want to do well this season, and maybe we want to try and challenge for promotion, which I don't think at this point in time, and how we're playing and how we can potentially play even better, could really be doubted that much. And keeping hold of your key players and your best players is certainly going to help that, isn't it? Especially in my notes here, I've literally highlighted Antoine Semenyo, and he is the biggest plus at this window. That is the best bit of business City've done this window, keeping hold of Semenyo. A lot of interest, apparently, from Premier League clubs. Bournemouth were apparently loosely linked on the last day. Palace were linked quite heavily during the window. Bristol City kept a hold of him, and now hopefully, he can propel us to a real fight into the playoffs, and just generally have a very good season for City for himself as well. So that is absolutely key. We've slightly improved our back line. We look a bit more assured with Cal Naismith. He's certainly helped with Zach Viner's early season form, and also once we get the likes of Thomas Callas back, and Tim Close is fully fit and really firing, because he was very good last season. Maybe he is key. Cal Naismith is a glue in that team to really help us defensively and be more assured. Another positive out this window is our average age of the squad. It was it was getting a bit too much, because when Payson first came in, we had so many players who were just old and getting contracts, and like, what's the point of them anymore? Like Henry Lansbury, Adrian Mariappa, Kamali Watkins, and whatnot, Tommy Rowe. Um, Last season, Danny Simpson as well, Casey Palmer to a certain extent, but this time the average age of the squad has actually gone down to 25 and a half years, which is very positive, because now we've got players in the first team and in the squad who are going to be assets for the future, and hopefully assets for the long term. And it's a bit like how what we're doing pre 2019-20 season, before Lee Johnson's last year, bringing youth, developing them, paying a bit of money for them, maybe sometimes over the odds, but we helped their development, and then we sold them for a profit. And not only did we help ourselves, we helped the player, and we helped our other club as well. So that's kind of the cycle we want to go back into, and that's kind of what we were fashioning this window, and hopefully that's what we can kind of fashion in the future. Because the likes of Kane Wilson, Stefan Bajic, Mark Sykes, hopefully they're going to be really, really key assets in the future, and going to be really, really, helping us helping us getting a profit, obviously, but also helping us in terms of performances, and in terms of financial stability for the club. In terms of slight negatives, is I think we could have done with another centre back. We signed Cal Naismith, yes. He is our centre back. He's a centre back. I think we could have done with another centre back, especially with now Nathan Baker unfortunately retiring, Taylor Moore leaving, and Robbie Cundy as well. So that's 3 centre backs gone, and obviously only one brought in. At the moment, our options are Naismith, Atkinson, Viner, Callas, and Closer, which is okay, but preferably I would like another centre back in, just to make it 3-3, just for cover. Previously, last season, Joe Williams proved he can also play that position. He can play as a sweeper. We saw at Middlesbrough home last season, he played as a sweeper and did quite well. So that's the only real potential thing I would have gone and maybe tried to look at. Some fans are discussing a centre midfielder, which I think we're fine in, because obviously Scott is there, Sykes can play there if necessary, obviously Masengo, we've got Williams, we've got Matty James, we've got Andy King. I think we're fine there. We're going to play with 2 centre midfielders anyways. We play with three strikers, 2 wing backs, and 2 midfielders particularly. So I think we should be fine in that department. If we're really desperate, we could have gone with a loan, maybe a Tim Rogabunham, who went to QPR on deadline day, maybe someone on loan from the Premier League, but I think we should be fine in that department. So overall, the City window has been quite positive, and I'm quite happy with how we've gone with things. We've not really fully gone for it, but we've made some quite ambitious signings, i.e. Naismith, Wilson, and they are signings which are going to help us this season, and hopefully some of them are going to help us for the future as well. So even if we get injuries, we should be fine, because we're better off, I think. This time last season we were worse off, if you know what I mean. We now have maybe a thinner squad, but we have a squad which is now has good quality in it, and even if it has some holes in it, we've got some good depth and versatility, and hopefully they can provide us with the equal quality if they are to join in and play in the squad. If I were to give this a rating, I think I'd give it a 7.5 or an 8 out of 10. I think it's been a very good window for us. We've got rid of some of the players who were on high wages, and some bad eggs within the group apparently, and we've brought players in who are going to fit the role, who are going to bring versatility, who are going to bring experience, and are going to bring quality, which is the main thing at the end of the day. And that's what we need, and that's what Large Basin has looked at and gone, even if we don't bring in numbers, we should bring in good quality, and that's what we've got, and that's what's good. That's what's good about this recruitment team. That's what's good about this recruitment from the summer. So I'd give it a 7.5 or an 8. I think I'm slightly swaying to an 8, than a 7.5, which I think is fair. Well, let me know your rating down in the comments section below. If you've enjoyed this video, hit the like of the video if you haven't already. Subscribe to the H Robin Stalk YouTube channel for more Bristol City content. And yeah, it's been a busy window-ish for City. It's not been the busiest. Deadline day wasn't really great. It wasn't really as busy as I liked, but it's fine because we've done some sensible recruitment, and that's what's good at the end of the day. Thank you guys very much for watching. Keep safe, and I'll catch you later. Cheers.